Assalamualaikum. What's up my guys? Yes. Selamat sejahtera, selamat malam kepada penonton pada malam ini. Saya hos anda Hanif Hamzah dan kita kembali dalam episod yang ketiga pula Lepak Je Korporat. Rancangan Minggu Saham Digital di mana kita akan berkenalan dengan tokoh-tokoh korporat dan peneraju industri di Malaysia. Sambil mengenali mereka dengan lebih dekat dan juga visi mereka untuk masa hadapan. Syarikat korporat yang kami akan temui hari ini sebenarnya memang sudah terkenal di serata Malaysia, kumpulan UMW, sebuah syarikat yang sering selangkah ke hadapan tidak kira rintangan atau cabaran. Organisasi ini menjalankan perniagaan berkembang maju dalam industri otomotif, peralatan, pembuatan dan kejuruteraan dan aero angkasa. Bukan sahaja di Malaysia, malah Singapura, Brunei, Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, Papua New Guinea dan negara China. Tetamu kami hari ini ada dua orang yang memimpin perusahaan industri UMW dan syarikat subsidiarinya. Kedua-dua sememangnya peneraju industri dan saya tak sabar untuk anda bertemu dengan mereka. Salah seorang daripada mereka menyelia bahagian peralatan UMW yang memasarkan, menjual dan menservis peralatan berat, industri dan marin daripada pengilang termasyur antarabangsa dalam industri pembalakan, pembinaan, perlombongan, pertanian, pergudangan dan logistik. Itu tak cukup nafas nak introduction dia orang kan. Okey, yang lagi seorang pula memimpin syarikat yang memasang, memasar dan mengedar secara eksklusif kenderaan Toyota dan Lexus di Malaysia melalui rangkaiannya yang terdiri daripada 5 cawangan dan 82 peniaga berdaftar di serata negara. Sila berikan tepukan gemuruh dan selamat datang kita ucapkan kepada Encik Megat Syarul Azmir Nordin, Presiden Bahagian Jentera, dan Encik Ravindran Kurusami, Presiden UMW Toyota Motors Sendirian Berhad yang pada malam ini telah meluangkan masa untuk bersama kita secara virtual. Selamat malam dan selamat datang saya ucapkan kepada Encik berdua. Terima kasih kerana sudilah bersama kami pada hari ini. Semoga semua dalam keadaan sihat. Everybody clear with me? Nampak Kita test mic dulu.
Ya, nampak.
Encik Megat okey? Encik Ravi okey?
Ya. Okay, bagus.
Saya punya background pun cantik tau.
Ya.
Okey, kami sudah menyaksikan orang ramai di seluruh dunia bekerja sama, duduk di rumah untuk menjaga penjarakan sosial dan meratakan lengkungan. Okey, tidak senang. Waktu PKP, kalau Malaysia saja dah 3 kali dah kita PKP. Kalau serata dunia ada yang masih lagi, ada yang sedang berdalik terpaksa mengambil keputusan untuk ber-PKP lagi. So kita semua terkesan dengan keadaan semasa ni. Jadi kita nak tahu daripada encik-encik berdua ni, rindu apa tentang kehidupan di dalam dan di luar pejabat. Kita start dengan Encik Megat. Ada tak kisah yang menarik yang memberikan anda harapan atau senyuman sepanjang pandemik ini? Silakan Cik Megat.
Ya, banyak sebenarnya Hanif. Tapi sebelum tu Hanif, benarkan saya speak in English Hanif, because my colleagues daripada Vietnam, from Papua New Guinea, from Myanmar, from Singapore, they're calling in. So if you don't mind, kita campur-campur lah.
Go ahead sir, go ahead. Boleh Cik Megat, go ahead.
So about my experiences, Hanif, I think coming from the office environment, I really miss the hustle and bustle of the office. People moving around, movements in many different directions, chatterings in the hallways, meetings room filled to the brim. Sekarang ni mana ada meeting room yang penuh-penuh Hanif? Tak ada kan? So I thought I really miss that, and hopefully this long COVID becomes much shorter, and then we can enjoy those social interaction much more soon enough, hopefully.
In fact, for me as a host personally, what I miss is having to be able to interact, not virtually, but instead this has become the norm of recent times. Cik Megat.
Betul. And here we are kan, macam ni lah.
Betul. Okay, we got a question for Cik Ravi juga ni. Just based on your experience and your family's experience during the pandemic, ada tak you menggunakan since you are corporate people, Encik Ravi, ada tak you gunakan strategi pengurusan untuk memastikan your personal life at home feels a bit normal? Macam mana, Mr. Ravi?
No, I don't think what we do in the office we can use in the home.
Cannot.
Most of the time, home ministers will be managing us, so we have to give them the time. Okay, but I think during the crisis, we had a lot of opportunity to relook and see what we can do. And of course, it was a very cold period, and leaders like us, we have to assure that our staff are happy, family is happy. Okay, so that is time that we really think and we move forward. And in fact, that help us. Of course, kids are happy when you are in the house, okay, because they are grown up. If they are young, they don't need you. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, but I think we all are well prepared. What happened the past 2 years? Okay, it's very exciting. Okay.
I was really hoping as you were talking about your children, Mr. Ravi, one or two of your kids would just run through the camera. That's not happening, is it?
It's not running. You're still in the office.
Okay. Okay, now I feel that UMW was very active, especially during ataupun menyokong when we had to fight against the COVID-19. We're still fighting against it. And saya faham bahawa UMW ni ada rangka strategik untuk bersemuka dengan peluang dan rintangan yang akan datang dalam dunia pasca pandemik. This is already, I believe it's post-pandemic. We are soon going to call it an endemic. Can maybe Encik Megat tell us a bit about the initiative?
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I think it's a really interesting time that we are facing, and it's been the second lockdown lasted about 3-4 months, kan? So after that, luckily we have this strategic transformation framework called CREST at 2021. So that bit about 2021 it stands for 20 billion ringgit revenue, right? 2 billion ringgit PBT and 1 billion ringgit PATAMI. So that stands. That's what 2021 stands for. CREST pula stands for customer relationship, excellence, sustainability, and teamwork. Right. So it's a huge systems thinking, but generally all these things put together can help you do a clear business integration. It helps us structure our thoughts better. It helps us dig deeper, peel the onion a bit deeper, and then get everyone to work towards the same strategy and the same motivation. So from all levels of the employees within UMW, we are all working towards the same thing. So that's quite powerful.
I feel that your explanation on CREST 2021 should be something that all the other companies can emulate lah. Boleh photocopy for the success that UMW has gone through. Okay, we're going to go back to Encik Ravi. Kita ni dah start endemic. This term no longer, I believe, no longer scares all of us. We have to continue with our lives. So Mr. Ravi ni, what is the mega trend that you can tell us about UMW, that UMW has seen the risks and the chances dalam ekonomi pasca pandemik ini, terutamanya berkaitan dengan the younger generation. Maybe younger than me. I'm about less than 40, but we're talking about the younger generation who's the most worried, especially for those yang bersekolah, yang just about to start work, university graduates and such. I mean, there must be something, mobility for them, ataupun this upward mobility for them. Encik Ravi, silakan.
I think first for the younger generation, they are based on technology, not you are still very young. Megad and myself, we are all in the field, play soccer and hockey. But today, the kids are all technology, okay? So when this pandemic happened, for them, there are impact, okay? Socially, there's the impact, but they are all ready, okay? So for instance, for Toyota or UNW, this is not something that we don't know is going to happen, but most of the corporate companies, we have this risk management. If you take simple example, when we had Gempa Bumi in Japan, the entire system have stopped.
Yeah.
Risk management came in, okay? So the educations of all this, it already been put into college. So the younger generations are all well prepared. But the only thing, they can't go and have copied the, data array or, these are the things they are missing. But for the growth, I think the companies are moving. Basically, the mega trend is what the younger generation wants now, flexi hour. Okay.
Right.
They want to work 4 days a week. Okay. They want to think more, and more they want is technology. They don't want control. Okay. So this is what is going to happen. And I think we are moving into a direction, maybe I'm not sure, but most of the companies will be going into 4 days or 4.5 days. It's all quality of performance rather than quantity. Okay.
Sorry, go on, Mr. Ravi, go on.
Yeah. What is saying, the future generation, they will be more dynamic.
Okay. I think me as a person who works under a company as well, most of the employers would be a little worried about productivity lah. Aren't you a little worried about that? Or there's a way to gauge?
Productivity, if you don't mind, I think productivity is very important in factory because they're very strong SOPs. But when we talk about management, HQ, I think you must let them to think freely. When they think freely, you will find a lot of dynamic ideas. And today, a lot of ideas are coming from younger generations. You look at all this e-commerce and all that is just booming. Okay.
Great.
So I think
that's
it's
good news,
a great opportunity for them.
Correct. Some of the things that we are trying to also understand from the younger generation, like you said, TikTok and such. Okay, this one goes to Encik Megat pula. We're back with Encik Megat. Sekarang ni there's a lot of talk about kesaksamaan gender. And in many countries, dia telah kembali mudarat. Alright, it's going on a negative. Apa kata Encik Megat tentang perkara ini?
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting topic, kan? I mean, especially because of the disruption brought about by the pandemic. We've seen that, at least according to the McKinsey Global Institute, women's jobs are at 19% greater risk, than men's. So there's a lot of pressure there, right? But we are lucky. We are lucky that in Malaysia, for example, the government's doing a lot of stuff, right? HRDS is doing HATS, for example, that stands for Housewife Enhancement and Reactive Talent Scheme, right? But especially for EMW, we are very, very lucky, right? Because we've had this pandemic for like close to 2 years now, okay? We have been able to keep our employment levels largely at the same number. So regardless whether you're man or woman, right? We're lucky in that sense, kan? But there are retirements and what have you, kan? But that's natural situation, kan? So far we didn't have to do anything drastic. So we are so lucky in that sense. So specifically for EMW, I thought we were blessed in that sense. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for sharing, Encik Megat. I think we cannot deny that women adalah penyumbang besar kepada the Malaysian economy, and UMW adalah antara majikan terbesar di Malaysia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Encik Ravi. Is this true? Is this correct?
It's true, yes. But I want to add in something. I think if in UNW, especially in Toyota, when you look at women, I think nearly 50% of the top positions are ladies. Okay, there's a complete change in the past 10 years. If you look at accountant, purchasing, pricing, branding. Okay, so I think we have to compete with them now. Okay, so it's a very different, and I think it's very exciting. Of course, in the manufacturing, workers is still around 95% men. Because it's a bit heavy processes. But the HQ, when we talk in the manufacturing itself, is almost like 40%. So a trend is changing, and I think they are very, very creative, and I think they are very clear. Okay, and they are very dynamic. Okay? So there's a lot of opportunity in UNW group.
Yeah, well, kudos to UMW for uplifting women, especially in the corporate world. I have so much respect for you guys on doing that. Back to a lot of pandemic questions here. I think we are going through some hard times together. Ni tentang pandemik yang telah mengganggu dan mengendala pasaran buruh. Ni worldwide pasaran buruh ni worldwide. Dalam masa lebih kurang 20 bulan yang lalu sebagai peneraju industri, maybe Encik Megat rasa situasi ini akan terus bergolak pasca pandemik ataupun it's going to be alright?
I think in so many ways, kan, the pandemic has been a major disruptor. Kan? As with many disruptions that we've seen before, these things tend to linger. And they tend to stick around for quite some time. So I think especially in the business world, the enterprises the world over, we have no choice but to adapt to the situation. Macam saya cakap juga tadi lah, in UMW we are so lucky. In total we have more than 10,000 employees. Kan? Our numbers has largely remained the same. Kan? So I think we have been quite resilient, Hanif. We are, with the strategic framework tadi, crest at 2021, and that somewhat helps in making sure we are laser focused in making sure that we do our job well, we keep our costs to the optimal level, and we make sure we take care. Most importantly, we make sure that we take care of the health and safety of our employees. Kan? So even now, the government has allowed us to come to work and have 100% of the capacity. But we are still doing Team A, Team B rotation just to make sure, we control the risk better. So that's good. Yeah?
That's part of the crest initiative, also.
That's right.
Great. Now we're gonna tone down a bit, since kita pun we have plenty of viewers here who are of the young generation. Jadi kita nak tanya benda-benda yang tak payah fikir punya jawapan. And we call this rapid fire. Don't worry, you're not the only two who've gone through this process. I will ask a question, a very simple question, and then without even thinking, whatever that crosses your mind, you're going to say it, okay? Ini memang a quick reflex answer, right? We'll start with Encik Megat and then Encik Ravi, take turns lah. I have about 20 questions here. Right? Okay, ini tentang naluri seorang pemimpin ni as leaders. Is it natural or you can train them to become leaders? Cik Megat? Natural or trained to become leaders?
Trained. For a lot of people, experiences matters, right? So that builds up over the years. Kan? So training is a major part of it, I think. Right.
Mr. Ravi?
Training.
So I can one day become a leader in UMW lah.
You can one day be a leader, a CEO.
There you go. Okay. Adakah anda seorang pengurus yang sentiasa terlibat dalam kerja harian atau tidak? Hands on or not? Saya Megat.
I try not to be hands on sangat. Kan? Sebabnya at the highest level, you have to be able to look at the big picture. And you have to balance, right? So to me, that's my situation.
So that also reflects that you trust your employees.
That's right.
That's how it works. Okay, Cik Ravi.
Strategic thinking. That's the most important.
There you go. Okay. Which one do you prefer? To start work late, mula kerja lambat, to start work late atau habis kerja awal? Which one do you prefer? We talk about flexibility at work, so which one is preferred?
Flexi hour.
Flexi hour is the answer.
I got the worst. I start cepat, balik lambat.
Itu yang susah tu. Lepas tu tak ada time for yourself. Okay. Okay, this is a very common question. I think everybody who's listening should answer this for yourself. You prefer working at home or at the office? Cik Megat?
For me, the office.
The office, Cik Ravi?
Office.
Office juga dua-dua. I prefer home. I'm not a corporate figure, but yes, I prefer home.
That question actually ada timing Hanif, because dah lama sangat work from home kan, so you're eager to come to work. That's why it is.
Jadi lethargic kan? You have to
That's
move.
right. It's fatigue.
Okay, lepas tu meetings, video meeting ataupun personal meetings, kita physically meet someone.
Video is better. We are so used to video now.
This one is a 50-50 answer. I trust everybody has a 50-50 answer. Cik Megat?
Yes.
Kalau tak ada COVID, definitely face to face. But now we have to work with it.
And I feel that dengan teknologi ni, tiba-tiba meeting, virtual meeting ni dia jadi lagi panjang. Kalau physical meeting 1 hour, a virtual meeting is 3 hours, man. I don't know whether you go through the same.
Nowadays, ada 7 days work day now.
Itulah tu. Okay, this is your personal experience. Your tables at the office, is it berselerak ataupun kemas?
It's very clean.
You punya clean Mr. Ravi's clean.
Mine is very clean.
Cik Megat ni I think messy lah. That's why he laugh. Okay. Do you prefer to be interviewed or do you prefer to interview?
Both ways is better.
Betul.
I would say I like to interview lah. It's my job.
Tanya je soalan.
Okay, ini I nak tambah 3 soalan ni, 3 ni. You prefer email, conversation atau WhatsApp? Conversation tu meaning physical conversation macam ni lah. Face to face conversation, email ataupun WhatsApp?
I WhatsApp sebab cepat lah ni.
Cepat kan?
WhatsApp,
Boleh hantar
yes,
dokumen
WhatsApp.
tau sekarang. WhatsApp But remember, don't WhatsApp your employees after 6 PM, okay? Reminder. Okay, education or experience? Which is more important?
I think young is education. Certain age is experience.
Okay,
You have to balance this both.
these two kan? A balance
These
will be
two,
great.
yes.
Cik Megat?
And if you put a gun to my head kan, it's experience lah. I think by far kan, by far.
Which crossed your mind first? Was it education or experience?
I mean, if you've heard the story about even the founders of Facebook, for example. He didn't finish Harvard, kan, for
Right.
example.
Right.
I mean, that's just a example lah, kan. And then there's thousands and thousands more examples, right? Which is nurture versus nature lah in the end. kan?
Okay. We'll continue. Lagi cepat atau lagi tepat? Yang mana lebih penting?
Tepat, kena betul.
Tepat perfection tu lah Not quick. Cik Ravi?
Same.
Tepat.
Sharpness. Okay. Yes.
I'm taking notes.
In business, kena ni, you have to make sure your findings are as close as possible to being right lah. Kan?
Yeah. This one I think a lot of people would like to know. Ini secara peribadi which one do you prefer? An office, a personal office to yourself or a personal parking yang tulis reserve ada plate number tu? Which one? Mr. Ravi, which one?
I think personal office, but in Japanese concept, it's a very open concept.
Right.
So staffs all will be beside you. So that is better. You can chat with them. But of course, pandemic, you can't do that much.
Now office pun dia letak cermin besar-besar je, you can see inside.
Makan pun dia simpan.
Betul. Cik Megat?
Parking anytime, especially if you have to walk long ways kan.
I'm assuming your HQ is in the city centre or?
Yes, our KL office dekat ni lah, kat Menara
Yes.
W kan, near KL.
Then in that case, definitely parking lah for me. I mean, for me personally, kan. Okay. Alright, that's it. Thank you for the rapid fire questions. I'm going to do a few more questions. We're going to go back to something more serious. Tadi saja nak lay back sikit. We should have done this earlier supaya kita panaskan badan, warm up kan. Yang ini adalah posisi kerajaan, okay, tentang digitalization dan kepentingannya kepada ekonomi. Memang seiring menjadi bahan berita dan telah menjadi isu panas untuk 20 bulan yang lalu. Still a talking issue. Saya nak tanya dengan Cik Ravindran, pentingkah untuk sesebuah negara melalui proses digitalization ini untuk berjaya?
I think it's very important. If you
Yeah.
look at big data and all that, technologies are changing very fast. So you must have this technology, you must have the speed, so you can make decision very fast. So I think the way the government is moving and the world is moving, I think we are moving into that. So this is very, very important. That's what I feel.
I think it also caters to, like you said, the younger generation who is very tech savvy, and digitalizing is part of their growth in these days.
The
Kan?
younger generation, they don't want to carry any file and any paper. It's everything in their computer or iPad.
Betul?
Okay.
Like myself, iPad, because I'm young.
There's nothing on the table now.
True, empty kan? Okay.
Empty.
Macam mana UMW akan mendorong agenda ini, the digitalization agenda, throughout the whole company? I think Cik Ravi pun boleh juga ni.
I think we have started many years. Like when we talk about technology, it's everything is computer based. When we talk about dealer system, supplier system, manufacturing system, okay, and the transformation, I think, have started, if I'm not mistaken, even maybe 20 years ago. But we were slow. But the past 2 years, when the pandemic hit us, I think we all rushed through. We saw many things. Okay, this is where I think the speed, and I think what we have done in the past 10 years, we might be doing it within 3 years now. Okay? So that is a major changing point is going to happen.
We just had to
Of
evolve.
course, a lot of
forcefully,
investment, a lot of money will be invested here.
Yeah. I think evolve.
And that will give us also a lot of profit back to the company.
There you go. It goes back to profit. Of course.
Profit. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yang ini ketika awal pandemik yang satu dunia lockdown, and the whole world was under lockdown. Dan ramai bercakap tentang pemulihan alam. People were sharing videos of animals now coming closer to human homes, and you can see dolphins in places that usually you don't see. You nampak ikan-ikan biasa, tiba-tiba dolphin and whales are coming up. But you know, there's a generation, the millennials. 1/3 of them. This is based on study. 1/3 of the millennials and the Gen Z are hoping, dia mengharap dan menjangka yang dunia akan lebih altruistik, alright, dan dunia yang penuh belas kasihan dan lebih berupaya untuk kerjasama secara antarabangsa untuk melawan perubahan iklim. That's a very important topic to talk about, perubahan iklim ni. Apakah pandangan secara rasmi, pandangan daripada UMW ni? Is something that you foresee happening as well? Either of you?
Definitely, and if I think it's a topic there's a foregone conclusion again. I mean, so I think wherever UMW is involved in this area, contohnya, we are looking at a few things. Kan, the group is huge. I think kita even ada innovation punya areas where we look at value chain of H2, for example, how to accelerate innovation in green technology to address the climate change. If you remember, crest I talked about tadi kan,
Yes.
stands for sustainability kan. So this is where we address all these potential issues. We look at industrial biotechnology areas where we look at membrane, nano biolubricants, kan? Where you recycle batteries, for example, using our Bruce technology, kan? And we look at renewable energy and solar. Yeah. So all of these activities and initiatives fall under our sustainability area tadi.
Okay. I mean, I've got so many other questions for you guys, but we've only got 1 or 2 minutes left. Maybe a last question for Encik Ravi sebelum kita akhiri ni. How do you feel that the new norm would be, or how would it be? How do you see it to be the new norm? Encik Ravi.
I think personally the new norm will give us more to be creative. Okay, it will make us stronger.
Right.
will make us independent,
Right.
and we will be much a better person. Okay, that's going to happen. And from the company point, I think the efficiency is going to come in. We will be well prepared for the future. So we know we have gone through. If you look at 100 years ago, Spanish flu, when we read today,
Yep.
we didn't think about it is going to happen.
Mm.
Okay. But what is going to happen? We didn't have that much of technology, but today we have everything, videos and all that. This we can keep on putting and show. So I think it's going to be very interesting, and we all will be ready.
Mm.
So the younger generation, they will have a big potential to grow.
There you go. Everything for the younger generation. Awesome plan.
And younger
We support
generation.
younger generation, it will
Itu
be a
sudah
better
sedikit
world. That's how
dua
I
lah.
feel. Okay, we don't have much time any longer, but I thank you both for sharing
you.
and
Thank you.
representing UMW. I hope kita punya penonton pun dapat menimba ilmu dan mengambil inspirasi daripada perkongsian tadi. Dan rancangan ini, of course, I thank you all for having invited me as a guest. Rancangan ini dibawa kepada anda oleh UMW Holdings, di mana kecermelangan bermula. Untuk maklumat lanjut tentang perniagaan-perniagaan UMW, layari laman web mereka www.umw.com.my. Dan of course, jangan ke mana-mana. Live stream MSD akan berterusan. Ada satu lagi episod Lepak Je Korporat yang akan datang. I bid you both goodbye. Semoga kita akan bertemu secara
See you.
fizikal one day.
Take care.
Ya, thank you Encik Ravi, thank you Encik Megat.
Take care.
Dan kepada yang
Okay,
menonton,
bye.
Assalamualaikum. Selamat malam.